need your pole with the method feeder on it and a ball of chum. You want to switch this down as small as possible. And then you're going to take a packer, which I'll put all this in the description so you can buy all the stuff, especially the method feeders. Now you're just going to pack it into the mold. Now you're going to take your method feeder and you're going to press it in like this. So you're pretty much just pressing this into the actual method feeder. So now you have a bunch of chum laying on the outside, so you can save a bit by just running your finger along the edge. Little red button on the back of it. Some are different, some might not have this, some might be differently formed, but you just press it. It basically breaks the pressure inside. This little knob, you just push it up, and then you'll have a ball of chum on your line like that. I'll do a little thing on casting right now just because I'm sure people want to see how to cast. If you've ever fished before, it's the same thing. You're just casting the line out. But for newer people, you're going to open up your bail like this. This little circle thing that goes around your reel is the bail. And then I like to take my finger right there in the crevice of the reel handle here, and I just hook the line like that. And then we're gonna pull back our line like this, so you can see my line dangling. You don't want that thing swinging too much. You wanna let it rest. And then you're gonna put it over your shoulder. So I'm just gonna bring you over, show you my tripod, and show you the differences that you can get in this stuff. So obviously, if you've watched my past videos, you've seen this tripod. Now this tripod is a very well built tripod, but you gotta be careful buying tripods, especially off of Amazon, because a lot of them do not work the best. A lot of them break very easily. This tripod was $90 on Amazon, I'll link it. And it works perfect for what I want. It comes with these sensors. They work very well, so they have a little wheel on the inside of them. When you pull the line out, it's going to beep. Just what you want. And then it has swingers here that will allow you to keep your line slacked up, pushed against the wheel. So this one, like I said, I bought it on Amazon for $90. So it's a very well built tripod. Holds 3 poles. Comes with different holders here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but yeah, they come with different holders here. The sensors are pretty good. I like them. You can buy my old tripod cheaper sensors, and I still have them. Just as a backup in case I ever lose my sensors. So. Another thing about method feeders, they keep chum on it. It does not dissolve that fast. Depending on what your chum is made of, you will still have chum on your line if you mess up a cast. So don't be afraid of pulling it back in if you don't like your casting. Next up is poles. So your pole, it doesn't really matter. I fish with cheap $32 Walmart reels, and that's what I caught most of my fish on this season. I only just got these poles because it was recently my birthday, and I decided to splurge a little bit. So this one is from Amazon. I really like it. Like, I can catch fish on it, and it's not a problem. And it's very budget friendly. Like, this thing was cheap compared to the other ones. Like, I'll show you this other one I have, which is not from Amazon. It's from Carp. I got it because I snapped one of my poles in half. For my $30 rod here, or not my $30, this one was like $40, $50, I think. But anyway, $50 for this compared to $100, and they do the same task. Like, you see me pull fish in with this one all the time. So, poles don't really matter that much. It's more about how you let the fish fight on your pole. If you're over there like leaning backwards while you're hooking on a carp and you're surprised your pole's snapping, that's a user error. That's not a pole error. That's the user not being smart about how they're fighting the fish. A lot of these reviews on Amazon where people are saying that their poles broke within a few days, it's probably user error, to be fair. Now I'm going to be showing you my $100 rod from Daiwa. Now, obviously, you know, if you've noticed, I have the same reels on every single pole. It's because I bought these reels for what I wanted, and they work perfect for what I need. This rod is from Carp Angler, like I said. The brand is Daiwa. I've fished with people who use Daiwa, and I decided to give it a try just because, you know, I like trying new things. Like, that's how I got into carp fishing, was I tried new things. Let's get real about equipment. So equipment's pretty important. You know, obviously, if you're going out once a week, you're going to want good equipment because you're going to be out there fishing all day. But if you're not going out every week, then maybe don't spend $700 on equipment. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can afford it, absolutely buy it. But don't spend money like I do just to get things that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, find things that are useful for you, not for someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, a while ago, I used to fish with a cooler instead of my setup here. I used to put my rods in a cooler, and I had rod holders on the cooler that were drilled in. And that worked for me, and I had sensors that clip onto your poles. And I loved it. Like, that was perfect for me. And then I started going more often. You know, I started catching more carp. I didn't want to have to lug a igloo cooler with me everywhere I went. So I bought this cart. I don't know if you can see it, but this cart. I love this cart. This cart has served me very well. It holds everything I need. I have my net, my sling for weighing, and I have my backpack, like chum supplies. Everything's in it. And I put my tripod in there too, and I fold it all up and put it in its bag. Things like the cart, like if you're hauling a lot of equipment out to where you fish, like especially with carp fishing, you're gonna realize that once you start getting really deep into it, you're gonna have a lot of equipment. Like sometimes this cart, I thought I would never be able to fill this cart up. Half the time I don't have enough room to fit everything I have in my cart. Like if I brought on my full setup, like everything I have, I could not bring it all in this cart. You get a cart. I feel like a cart is a very good piece of equipment that you get and use. However, things like the tripod, I don't think a lot of people need it. I say if you have a buddy that you fish with that fishes for carp, try out his tripod. Ask him if he has a spare tripod that you could use for a little bit. See if you like it. Make your own things. Use bank sticks, you know. Everybody has their own different way of carp fishing. Like, it's not all the same. That's the thing I love about carp fishing, is you're never gonna have the same experience every time, you know. You can fish with a cooler and have your rods pointed up in the air, but for me, with my 10-foot poles, I can't do that. You know, if you have 7-foot poles, 6-foot poles, you can do that. But for people like me who have 10-foot poles that are outrageous and spend a lot of money on this sport, it's worth it for me. Like, I definitely use my stuff. But something I've always told people when they ask me was, if you go one time a month, spend $100. If you go 3 times a month, spend $300. If you go more than 5 times a month, spend more than $500 every year. Be open to it, because if you're gonna use it, you want to spend good money on it. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm a student at a college for automotive, and my teachers mentioned to me that, like, homeowners, they use their tools sometimes, but auto mechanics, like I'm going to be a mechanic, auto mechanics will use their tools every day. That's their job. So you want to put good money into your tools if you're going to use it every day. It's the same thing with fishing. You know, if you're going to fish a lot, spend a lot of time fishing, then get good equipment that's not going to break on you after the first trip. You know what I'm saying? Like, another misconception that a lot of people have is that you need to spend a lot of money on rods and reels. No, you don't. I caught things with $30 Walmart rod reels. I only just upgraded because I go fishing so much now. I go every Friday, and then sometimes throughout the week. That's why I post videos on Fridays. It's really how you take care of your rods, how you use your rods. Like, obviously you're not going to bend backwards and put a full force into a 6-foot rod from Walmart that's telescopic. Like, that's what I was saying. Get a pull by how much you use it and how hard you use it. Like, if your reels is really, that's where I would spend the money. If I were you, I would buy a cheaper rod but buy a good reel. Because your reel, you know, it's very nice to have a line that you can play with. Like, while you're fighting the fish, you know, you're fighting them and they can take you downstream. And you want enough line to do that. Like, you want enough line to play around with. Especially you want a big reel because a fish takes you all the way downstream and you get snagged and you can't pull them in anymore and you have to cut the line. Now you lost all your line. With a 7,000 rod, I can do that and still have about 150 yards to play with, and I can still stay out here for another hour. The things I would buy as a new carp fisherman, if you go like I said, if you go 5 times a month, like every Friday, then yeah, spend the money on it. Like, if you're doing it every week, spend the money on it. If you're not, don't spend the money on it. Depends on how much you're going fishing, really. Environment. So, in windy, choppy days like it is right now, I'm throwing out 70 grain method feeders just because they pull to the bottom and don't get whipped around by the current. In a calm, nice, peaceful day, or if I'm in like a very shallow lake, I will use PVA bags where it's calmer. Because it's all about the presentation. If you present your bait out there good, then you're going to get a fish. You're still going to get a fish if you don't, but you're more likely to get a fish if you present it well. So, PVA bags, I have a little bit of mesh here. So this is PVA mesh. What it is it melts in the water. So basically, I don't have the stuff to do it right now, but I will try to do it in a later video. I'll explain how to use PVA mesh, what PVA mesh is, what to use in PVA mesh, and then also how to hook it up to your line to cast it out. I'll do a video on that at a later date, probably during the winter when fishing slows down, but for now I'll just do a basic explanation. PVA mesh melts in the water. You take your chum or whatever you're putting in there and you put through the top part right here, and it's like a sock. You pull it out, you tie it off, and then you hook your line and throw it out. It's very simple. It melts in the water. This one melts in 20 to 2 minutes, so it does take a little bit more time for your chum to actually be out. Where with the method feeder, it's already out and it's spreading. So yeah, that's PVA mesh for you. Other equipment I would get is obviously you want a good net. This net is from Walmart. This net is it's a Free-Bill Sportsman. Very big net. Very I think it's 36 inches. 36-inch handle with a 20 by 23-inch net. So this is the 23, this is 20. It works for what I need. I'd like to scoop them up. It has a metal ring around the side. I've tried ones. Actually, hold on, I'll be back. Someone dropped their cigarette pack. But anyways, like I said, get a bigger net if you want a bigger net. But like that one I use it to catch 38. I'll call it a 38-inch carp in that, and it held it. It barely did, but it held it. Like And then there's other things like this is a sling I have. If you want to do competitive fishing, or if you're posting yourself on Fish Brain and you don't want a bunch of people commenting, oh, that's not a 30 pounder, that's not a 33 pounder, oh, that thing's not 38 inches. Well, I got a ruler on my sling. This sling is off of Amazon. I'll link it in the description. Very good sling. I like it. It reeks right now because I just used it. But holy hell, that reeks. Other things you can buy. Really, this. Forgot about that. Just got this in the mail. This is a live mat, so when I'm unhooking them, I can place them on this. Like where I'm fishing right now, I don't know if you can see because I don't know how far the camera comes down, but there's a lot of rocks here. So when I'm unhooking them, I'll usually take them off the grass, but if I have to unhook them right there, I'll put them on this live mat where I'll put my sling on top of the live mat like this. So then they have like a little bit of cushion so their bodies aren't just scraping against it, rocks or concrete. But yeah, so basically the main things that you should purchase is obviously a pole and a reel. Get a good reel, get a 7,000 reel. That's the minimum for carp fishing. I would say 7,000. You could use smaller reels. I don't suggest it. You're probably gonna have a bad time if you use a lighter or smaller reel. Obviously you're gonna want a chair, dude, a chair. That's the main thing. I love my chair. I don't even remember carp fishing without a chair. I think I sat on a log or the ground when I used to carp fish, but I love my chair. This one's from Walmart. It works me perfect. It has 2 cup holders. It has an umbrella holder as well as a sling that broke. This right here, I don't know if it's on this side, but one of these sides has the sling and it broke off. It's on the bottom. But it's probably just me. But yeah, like I was saying, chair, poles, a reel, and then definitely a carp, live mat, sling, scale, and that's pretty much it. And that'll probably come out to about 200, 300. It's not cheap. That's my equipment I have without my tripod. Obviously, I have a tripod for making phone that I'm recording on right now, but doesn't include my tripod sensors. Obviously, you want a net too. I don't know why it's saying that. You're gonna want chum supplies. So these are what I use. These are panko breadcrumbs from Wegmans, I think. Wegmans, Walmart, I love these. Comes in a big container. This has 13 ounces or 396 grams of panko. Jello. I'll just do the chum segment now. Jello as well, and then corn. I don't have a can of corn on me because I'm a fucking idiot. But yeah, so chum is pretty much panko breadcrumbs, Jello, corn mixed together. Behaviors, carp like deeper water. They like sitting in divots. They also like structures. In the spring, they'll come up to the bank and sit. During the winter, they'll go down into a nest. Because obviously in the spring, summer, they're laying their eggs. Winter, they're starting to go down in activity because they're starting to hibernate, go to warmer areas where they won't fucking die. You can eat carp. If you're fishing where I'm fishing, don't eat carp. Just get the signs. Because this water I fish in has